Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for joining us on another action-packed big ol' episode of the OverMark Podcast. I'm one half of your OverMark Podcast co-host, and on the other side, we got my buddy Dave here. I'm pointing at him. I got the right direction, but I can't get the angle. But it's in some way. Yeah, Dave's got the right angle. I don't, but it's just because I'm sitting.
Like
yeah. But how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for joining us. We're gonna talk some wrestling. We're gonna like our other 1/3 of the co-host might join us later. We'll tell you we're gonna talk some wrestling, some MMA, some video game stuff, and whatever other shit we got going. How's it going, Dave?
A crucial thing about me is that I am strange.
I haven't put too much thought into it.
It's going pretty good. It's a Thursday. We're doing it makes me think back to Monday Night Raw when we were a kid. I think it was preempted by like the Olympics or something like that, some kind of sporting event. So they did Raw on a Thursday, and it was a Raw Thursday. I don't know if you remember that. Maybe.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look that up.
I don't remember much.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're hitting you with a Thursday episode. That's kind of nice. Not having to deal with all of the Monday stuff and then come home and stress about doing that. Not that this is super stressful or very hard to do, but I think midweek is a little nicer.
Life is enough on its own, and then you adapt other responsibilities and/or hobbies and interests and pile them on top of your life, and it's generally what we do with anything, right?
Well, plus Raw will have happened by the time that we do this a lot of times instead of us doing it before Raw. So then if anything interesting happens, we could talk about it.
Yeah. It was an alright Raw. I mean, it wasn't anything too crazy. We'll go over it later, but they announced the Bron Breakker thing with him getting injured. And what else? I have a terrible memory.
I do too. Well, stuff happened, and
all the Finn Balor stuff.
Yes,
that's the thing that I remember. So they had Michael Cole in there interviewing Punk, and then Finn Balor comes in and interrupts, and then Punk says he wants to be a fighting champion. Awesome segment. We'll get into that later as some like proof of what we'll be talking about with Punk, but overall, like pretty good segment. They had Liv and Stephanie Vakir and Dom, which was another like very, I think, well done segment.
She called her Puta, which I liked.
Yeah. Well, it kind of works because Stephanie's English isn't the best, but they got the best out of it in this promo, and they had some matches too. I'm sure if I
really don't like her new entrance music. They need to.
Nobody does it, I don't think.
Need to put it back.
But yeah, I think they had the El Grande Americanos doing some stuff. I kind of checked out by that point. But yeah, and they had a couple other things. I know I'm not making it sound too exciting, but it's been 4 days.
Because it wasn't.
Yeah, it's been 4 days. So I can't remember what the fuck I did yesterday for the most part. Can you?
Nope.
Dynamite happened yesterday.
Yeah,
I did watch that.
Anything good happen on that? There was some stuff that I heard about, but I can't remember now.
So they started off and it was like Swerve and Kenny, and it was a decent little back and forth. We both like Kenny, we both like Swerve. So this is a criticism that we've shared with them almost their entire, I don't know the right word, but the entire time they've been around, that they need to just say fuck it and have their top guys, wrestle against each other, put them in some programs. Yeah. But I feel like they kind of jumped the gun on this a little bit. It's like they're just starting the program off with a match, but at least they're not starting it off with a Texas death match. So they've at least learned something.
Cage match or
they're not going backwards.
Goofy. Yeah,
but
regular match.
Then it started off with some trios match, or the actual like in-ring stuff with some trios match with the Death Riders, and it wasn't very good.
That's right. I remember I was already going to bed, and you're like, I remember you messaged me. You're like, this sucks that I just turned it on, and the Death Riders are already happening. And I'm like, I'm glad I'm not watching right now.
Yeah, and then they had Kyle Fletcher. He beat Ciampa or whatever his name is. People were all mad about that. They ended up having the Young Bucks versus a returning Private Party, and the Rascals and the Young Bucks won that, so we get to see FTR versus the Young Bucks for the 1000th time. So I'm sure it'll be a good match, but surprisingly
definitely be a good match.
Surprisingly, that three-way tag match wasn't great. Most of the Bucks shit, their matches are very choreographed in a very similar and obvious way every time. Not to say that it was a terrible match, it just probably was one of the low points of the night. But before that, they had a tag match. It was Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm. Or no, it was Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong versus Daniel Garcia and some something Connor, some guy from NJPW I've never seen before, in a pretty underwhelming match. And then they had Thekla beat Chris Statlander at the end, which, people seem into Thekla. I'm not. I don't see what the deal is, but good for her and good for people that are fans of her. And I think anything could kind of be better than what they have going on now because, not her fault, but like Chris Statlander, they didn't know how to book her as a champion as well as most of their champions. I feel like AEW has a history of just having people win belts and not really having too much happen with those people once they win those belts, right?
Yeah, it's like they don't know what to do with their champions, which is, I don't know. Yeah.
Not the best, but I'm sure give it another 7 years and maybe they'll have it figured out by then, right?
Maybe. Or maybe it'll take another 7 beyond that. Who knows?
But yeah, we kind of jumped into the wrestling talk earlier. What's going on?
Well, just work and in life. Somebody's messaging me on Discord. It's just Carter.
Got my cat in here. Or one of them. She's wondering what's going on. But yeah, pretty much just a normal week for me. Work, life, eating some food, coming home, playing a little video games, watching some TV, reacting to shit that happens around me. But, puts people to sleep.
The constant side quest of having to figure out what to eat.
Yeah. I mean, what I was saying, we'll put people to sleep here, but we're living the same kind of fucking lives as all you guys. So just two average guys.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two average guys living it up. I got my wife, got the dogs, got my buddies on Discord, and that's pretty much it. Not too much going on. I've been really enjoying. It's funny because we actually unboxed this thing 2 weeks ago, the retro tank, but I've been really enjoying it. It's been awesome.
It looked cool on the stream. The games and stuff.
I think for most people, the price definitely wouldn't be worth it. But for somebody like me that has all these consoles and all the mods and the flash cards and all the other shit, it's like you gotta have it, So it just depends on what kind of user you are. But that'll be a conversation for another time. Got anything you want to add before we jump in?
Nah, let's jump right on into it.
All right, why don't you take us on since I started this bad boy. You can start on our main topic here.
Well, let's jump right into it here. We got ESPN deal sucks. We missed the WWE Network. Man, that is very true. The price was great. Everything was easy to access. All
the search terms.
All of the shit was
put
there.
In Stone Cold Steve Austin. You got the matches.
Right. It was. You didn't have to sift through all of the other content that is available on whatever streaming service that. It was just all WWE. There were a lot of the territory stuff that they had bought as well, which is cool to have that on there. And there was a different level of censorship applied to the stuff that you saw on there versus what you would see in the Peacock or later era.
Yeah, absolutely. Peacock really censored a lot of shit. And the big deal, I think, though, is that you didn't get the full library. WWE Network obviously didn't have the full content library involved that WWE has access to, but it was the biggest one that we've ever had access to, right?
Yep. And they're slowly uploading the stuff on YouTube, but nothing was centralized and $9.99 a month.
And you remember, it's funny enough I say you remember, but I don't remember. what was that reality show that they had with like Pat Patterson and like a whole bunch of the other?
Legends House.
Yeah, didn't they have a season 2 of that? Or that's where Pat officially came out as being gay, right?
Yeah. I'm fairly certain.
So they had a whole bunch of original content too that, like, you're not getting in the same form. Like, sure, we're getting the documentaries and all the stuff that WWE is going to give us no matter what. But we got a little bit kind of different shows. You remember they had that one prank show, I think that Xavier Woods was like in control of, and they would like prank people and shit. They never did another season of it because like the guys didn't like it. Left everybody
Legends
on
House
edge.
came out in 2012, man. Wow,
Yeah,
a long time
it's
ago.
been a while.
They only did one season of it.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's just an example. But there was all kinds of cool shows that they had on that. And it was just such a short-term concept for us. People had other countries like had it internationally, and still do to this day. But, we got stripped of it. The second that they could sell that library, they did.
Yeah. I mean, who could really blame them?
I don't think you could. I mean, did you get it right away?
Did I get
The network
maybe
right away. Like
Oh
right
yeah,
when it came out.
instantly. As soon as it was available, I signed up for it.
Yeah, me and my buddy Sam, we were pretty excited. He ended up getting it. I ended up getting it later myself, but he got it, and man, we just watched all that old content, like whatever we wanted. Obviously you probably started with some Attitude Era shit, but you just start
I watched
deep difficulties.
Yep. I'm sure nobody will see that or even know that it happened other than us talking about it right now.
Maybe not, but I think
Yeah, the network was cool, should we
we'll highlight in the price too, like $10 to $30, and then like
Yeah.
So if you're buying the ESPN thing as just a wrestling fan, you're actually getting less wrestling content than you did in the network, but then you're getting access to other shit that you don't care about. So overall, that's still like, a shittier deal for a wrestling fan. All right, I'm a little out of breath.
Quite a price increase too. Yeah.
Yeah, that and on
Got a
anything
breath
else now, ads.
Like Ian. Oh yeah. There weren't really ads on the WWE Network, were they? Other than ads that they were running promoting their own shit that they wanted you to watch.
And you barely got any of those,
Yeah.
Sometimes they were just built in the show, not a commercial, but like they tossed the ad into the show, like have the Miz and whoever else doing a little ad placement, like in the back for merch.
Exactly.
They still do that during the holidays sometimes. Remember they had
Yeah,
Daniel
that's true.
Bryan doing the Yes for Christmas one year back there and trying to sell all the merch. But yeah, we don't have to keep rambling on about it. Just I really enjoyed the WWE Network. I know you did too.
It was one of those, I don't even want to say don't know what you got till it's gone type of things, because I think pretty much everybody universally loved the network that was a avid watcher of wrestling, but it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Now more wrestling split up than ever, and you got to buy multiple subscriptions to even equal the same thing that you used to have. But I mean, Raw and SmackDown were never a part of the deal anyways, but you could get them archived later. So I guess, you're still not getting that. You only, you still got to have Netflix if you want Raw and that archival Raw footage.
Yeah, and they still don't have all of that up there.
Yeah. Lose. Then you got SmackDown on USA, and I don't know where there's any archival footage of that besides here and there on YouTube.
Trying to think. That I'm struggling to think of anywhere.
Well, whatever. It's probably not that important if we don't know, right?
I think it's on some streaming service for sure. I just can't remember what it ends up being on.
Whatever.
Yep,
Right?
doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
What does matter is we're moving on to our next topic. Why don't you tell us what that is?
Well, I'm sure if anybody watches this shit, they notice how we have, but it seems Nielsen has changed its methods on how it's doing viewership again, because wrestling, it's not just wrestling, but wrestling's definitely up. AEW is doing way better. They're back up in the 600K, which they haven't been for a long time. And Collision, I think, did 400, which it also hasn't done in a long time unless NBA has been preempted. But, I mean, you got SmackDown did 1.4 the other week, which it also hasn't done in a while. So, wrestling's up.
Yep.
With the new Nielsen
new
rating.
system.
Yeah, which is good because could you imagine if they didn't change what those contracts would look like next time around for both companies?
Yeah. They'd be like, well, you guys can probably kick rocks, go back to your own streaming service or something.
Yeah, I mean, SmackDown was getting under $1 million. They were doing like 900K.
Yep.
They were getting over double that with Fox. That is broadcast television, though.
Yeah. They always used to say that Fox kind of had a built-in audience, that like 8 to 10 every day there was a set amount of people that were always going to have it on their TV.
You mean the cops demographic?
Yes, I think that's what that's called.
Yeah, well, that's what we're calling it. That's an official OverMark coin term. We appreciate you guys for respecting that. But Cops is a good show. It actually got better ratings than SmackDown did. You remember that?
Yeah. People love Cops.
Cheaper to, because it's just reruns. So, but even if they were making new shit, cheaper to make, and it probably way better ads, better demographic, better viewership. I mean, but wrestling, maybe it didn't get a better viewership. Maybe the 18 to 49 wouldn't be better on Cops. I do not know that. And I think that may be a little bit annoying to figure out. I mean, who gives a fuck either way? It's Cops.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with Cops?
Not much. What can you?
Watch it. You remember Live PD?
Yeah.
Man, what a scam.
Yeah. They were in the county south of me, riding around with those cops.
It wasn't actually live, though. Like, it was all just compiled, and people thought it was live.
Right. It was previously recorded.
Yeah. It may have been recorded very, like maybe earlier that week or something, but it wasn't live.
Yeah, I don't know on that. I never really... That wasn't a thing I consumed.
Yeah, my dad was watching it, and I was like, look in the startup. It says it right there. Like, it says it on the beginning, like, blah, 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 pre-recorded something, whenever, all that shit. But overall, it's good. That both companies are up. AEW definitely needed it. WWE couldn't hurt. Nothing too crazy really going on there. We just wanted to highlight that for anybody that maybe wanted to, everybody else is always bitching about the ratings, right? We had a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I am. I am accidentally clicking and opening multiple things for some reason, so I'm dealing with that. Don't know why.
Okay. Well,
it's my first time on a computer,
Yeah. It's all good either way, but Big E finally confirmed that retirement, huh?
Yeah, that's a real bummer. I know a lot of people, myself included, hoped that he could come back and go out on his own terms, but the important thing is that he feels good and, has his health. But
yeah.
Fuck that Ridge Holland guy. Didn't he end up being like some kind of sex weirdo or something, allegedly?
I don't know, but they've apparently like they're good with each other, and like he said, he holds no ill will against the guy, and they've like moved on, and they like came to their peace about that. But he I don't need to read the whole tweet out. You can look it up if you want yourself. But he says he's not in he doesn't battle daily pain, and he's feeling better than he has pretty much in a really long time than when he was wrestling. So. He even though he can't wrestle anymore, he did get out with his health, and he said that this has allowed him to pursue a lot of other opportunities that he maybe wouldn't have had if he didn't have this happen to him. So he's happy, he's keeping busy, he's making money, he still gets a part of the WWE system, so he's doing all right.
Yeah, he's and he looks incredible. Like, he's still in good shape and everything.
Yeah. And when he did that thing when New Day's turned heel, that was fucking awesome TV.
Yeah.
I thought that they were
cool that he got to be a part of that.
I thought that they were going to have him do something then, but I guess it was just so they could really have him involved in something and have the New Day heel turn really mean something.
And it did. Have you ever seen a lighter like this?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I got one off of Amazon because I needed a thing for lighting long things, and I was looking for a long lighter, and this came up, and I was like, huh, it's kind of interesting.
How people like were doing that like challenge where they were eating the Tide Pods and then they were like dumping a bucket of water on themselves. Are you ready to start a new challenge today?
Nope.
Well, too bad. Put that on your dick hole.
Nope.
Well, come on, man. It's your new challenge.
I will buy one off Amazon and have it sent to you, and you can do that for the fans, and they will appreciate you for it, as will I. But I am not going to do it. I'm older than you. I might have a heart attack or something.
Nah, you'll be all right. Stuff. You're spry. You'll be fine.
You're a little more active than I am.
I don't. Sometimes. I mean, you're carrying stuff around. I carry stuff around. Everybody's carrying stuff, but
pick stuff up, put stuff down. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it'd be a really good challenge for you to start. Maybe you could go viral for being the guy that shocked that region of his body.
I would rather not.
No, okay. But yeah, Big E's the man though. I wish him the best. He had a good run. He's a part of one of the greatest tag team of all time in WWE. That's how they'll always spin it, and very successful wrestler. So we'll
held the WWE championship.
Yeah, he did do that for a little bit, huh?
Yep.
Well, that's all. Yeah, then he's reached the peak of the mountain. But speaking of peak of the mountain here, I got a peak.
And speaking of,
yeah, but I got a peak, and it's us going to be talking about who we think's the peak, who's the best heel and who's the best face in wrestling right now, and we're going to hit you with that right now. And Dave, why don't you tell me right now, who do you think is the best heel in the business?
Well, we both ended up, I think, picking the same thing here, but it was hard for me not to just immediately pick MJF. He pretty much is exemplary, but Drew McIntyre is. I tried to pick somebody besides him just so that it wouldn't. Drew's been on a pretty good run.
Drew bores me, man.
I thought he's had pretty good shit talk.
He has here and there, but just something about him. Just I don't care. MJF makes you care.
He does. And yeah, probably he is the best heel right now.
Drew doesn't hold a candle to fucking MJF.
No. Yeah. So honorable mention to Drew, I guess.
I think that's a good choice. I'm just speaking personally for me. You know how big of an MJF fan I am.
Oh yeah. Well,
we have the safe shit on the other one too.
Getting a lot of messages here.
Tell him to fuck off. Tell them you're busy.
They know. They can see me in here.
Yeah, well, then tell them to fuck off again. but yeah, we both put CM Punk for our best face in the business right now. I want you to tell me why you think, Dave.
Well, I mean, he best promo ability. He is able to make you care about what he's doing. He does a good job of projecting that everything that he is saying and doing is believable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I think separates him from other faces that makes him successful to me and why it works? So take Cody and take Punk. They're both pretty successful. They're both great faces. But Cody kind of whines and bitches, whereas like Punk can kind of do the same thing, but like he's more confident about it. He has a little bit of an attitude and spin with the shit he says. He's just the way that he says stuff. It's like when he was talking Monday, he was saying like I want to be like the kind of champion that you guys deserve. He says it in a way that's like the old guys used to say it, where it's like they're like taking pride in being champion, but it doesn't sound like they're sucking your dick, or like they're like, oh, please approve of me. It just sounds like how a man talks. He's got it down, you know. Whereas Cody kind of still sounds somewhat like a kid. He's pining, please like me. Punk doesn't give a fuck if you like him, but he's gonna go and do his best regardless.
Yep. I think that's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. But Punk and MJF, if you've never seen their like 25-minute promo battle back and forth in AEW, you got to check that shit out. That was awesome, wasn't it, Dave?
Yep. Their dog collar match is definitely, one of Punk and MJF both's best matches. That was really good. Probably
I'm talking about
one of the
promo
best
battle. But
well,
that match is good too.
25 minutes of talking shit back and forth, insane.
Yeah, he's like Punky Brewster, and then talks about he's like, I'm about to verbally KO you faster than your UFC career. Yep. That was some funny stuff. Take us on, Dave.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're going to talk about the most overdone wrestling spots today, and I'm going to let you know mine, and I feel like it is bumping or breaking on the announce table. It just is feels like it's happening multiple times a show. They've built these new specialty tables to accommodate being put back together so that they can be destroyed again.
Yeah.
I liked it better when they saved it for like the end of the show, or and the main card guys were doing it. It feels less special. Yeah, if everybody's smashing somebody through the table, it's not really. Maybe that's just me, and I'm turning old. I don't know. What's yours?
Mine's the Tope Suicida. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I'm tired of it. It's like everybody that was in ROH from like 2007 to like 2012 was doing it, and then now everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I can hear a little sockhead screaming it every time that somebody says it. That's all I hear.
Yeah, and man, it's I think it's actually less done now than it was even like 3 years ago. Like it's starting to be a little bit less, but I mean everybody was doing that shit. I feel like Brian was one of the first guys that was doing it like pretty regularly, and it's like everybody started picking it up in WWE after he was, or at the same time, and yeah. I think we both have some pretty solid picks there. I like yours a lot. It's definitely one of the things that they have kind of made a little bit less special.
Yeah, it's kind of just part of what they do. Well, speaking of less special, you want to tell us about what's less special about what's going on with AEW here?
Well, it really wasn't us talking about it, but we're going to comment on that in our own spin. But so Brian Alvarez was pointing out that many of the AEW wrestlers haven't really progressed up the card, and that they're in the same spot that they were years ago. And then Meltzer like kind of argued with them and pointed out a couple guys. And there's some truth to that. Like I feel like Swerve's progressed. Let me think. MJF's progressed. Darby somewhat has stuck around and maybe progressed. Help me out here. Chris did have the belt, but I don't think it elevated her at all. Seems like Thekla has.
Tony Storm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm struggling to think of other people.
Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, and shame on us for forgetting. Sorry, Willow.
Yeah, she's awesome. But there really hasn't been a lot of talent to like break through. I saw one of the things that Dave pointed out was Bandito, and it's like, I think he's a super talented guy.
That guy.
Yeah, I think he's a super talented guy. But like, if you think he's really any more popular, like in a meaningful level than he was a year ago, 2 years ago, you'd be wrong. I mean, the fact that they ended up having that tag team and they're just not together, and now Brody King's doing singles. Did Bandito get hurt or something? Because it doesn't really make much sense, and kind of like leads to the bigger problem of AEW not really having long-term teams or just long-term plans besides just good matches, which is okay really sometimes.
Sure. I'm gonna look that up.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I agree with Brian. I know you do too. I mean, there's just Hangman Adam Page, kind of, but he was by design. He worked his way up, but I mean, I feel like he's less over than he has been, in a while.
Yeah, definitely. So but he is hurt. It says as of early February 2026, wrestler Bandito is injured. He was recently pulled from a Riot Lucha show on February 7th due to a minor hand injury.
That
just a
stinks.
few weeks after having been on the shelf for a serious concussion.
But yeah, like Private Party, they won the belts, and they actually just came back, and they're not any more over than they were. We got Julia, Sky Blue. Hobbs ended up leaving, but I mean, Julia and Sky Blue, it's funny, like Tekla's been there way shorter, and she's the leader of the group with them in it, and she's the champion. I don't know, just, Daniel Garcia, I think, is a perfect example. Like, how many times have they tried to repackage that guy, and what have we gotten out of it? Just some string bean, buggy whipped arm fucking goof.
Comes out hunching the air like a dog.
Well, he always looks like he's, like, just got done changing somebody's oil.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like shit. He's always sweaty and greasy. Isn't he?
Yeah, and not the entertaining type of greasy like the Trailer Park Boys, but just like the unclean kind.
Yeah, it's just something that I think anybody that's watched the show could obviously, see and pinpoint, and it doesn't take a genius to realize that there's kind of a lot of stagnation when it comes to people actually elevating their way up the card, and not just the card, but in popularity, outside of just where they're positioned. Daniel Garcia, I feel like was in, like 3 years ago, was in more main events than anybody else in 2023. And how did that help him?
Well, he's damn near crippled.
Where's Action Andretti?
Who?
Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Big Bill. Brian Keith. What's the other Brian? Got that hung out with Big Bill, or was that Brian Keith?
I think that's
a
Brian
bigger
Keith.
black. I think Brian Keith's the bigger black guy, right? That's been out a long time.
I don't know. Let's Google him. We're doing a lot of Googling today, folks.
It doesn't matter, but I'm just saying it kind of stinks because
Let's show some old guy here.
yeah, the bear claw.
Yeah, no, Brian Keith is like the wrestler. He's got like a dumbass hat, and he is a black guy. He's got like a sombrero.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about. He's the guy that partners up with Big Bill. Then you remember? He was one of the Jericho Learning Tree guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
the Goof Group.
Yeah, which is funny because Jericho's actually he interviewed, I think, Tekla the other day, so he's still kind of doing AEW related shit, but it's not on their TV show, that's for sure.
Yep. Well, we'll see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we will really, because we already have seen what's gonna happen. People don't really get used that well, but I guess we'll see either way, right?
Yep.
Take us on.
So,
yeah, don't do that.
People have their best work against Punk, they're saying, after Roman Reigns versus CM Punk on Monday a couple of weeks back. It was universally praised back and forth on the mic. Many people are saying that it's Reigns' best mic work ever, and also pointing out that a lot of people do their best work against Punk. And we're going to break that down, Do we think that that's true? And is it true that stars often elevate themselves when they are in a feud with CM Punk? What do you think, TJ?
Well, you were talking about Drew McIntyre, and you were highlighting the work he's done, and most of that was off the back of working with CM Punk. Seth Rollins, all the best work that he's done in the past couple of years, with Cody as well, but with Punk. Reigns, best promo with Punk. Finn Balor, all the cool shit he's been doing with Punk. MJF, some of the best shit he's done in the AEW was with Punk. It's there's way more than that, but everybody steps their level up when they're working with them, don't they?
Yep. He's kind of like the last of the old guard, man. He's it's weird how people step their game up so much when they're working with him. Maybe it's just also they're having to work within the confines of the creative that they're saddled with, I guess. But and if they're like, well, hey, you're going to go out there and promo with Punk this week, that's probably a lot more creative freedom for both wrestlers. So they probably,
Paul's
really
probably
get in
involved.
There. Oh yeah.
And then Punk's probably involved, and they're giving everybody's collaborating and giving I'm sure they gave Reigns a ton of good shit to work with.
Definitely.
And why wouldn't he be excited? He's like, oh shit, like, I guarantee they thought he was selfish, right? That's what everybody says. And then they're working with him, and he's probably super generous. He's like, okay, I'm going to give you this and this and this, and I want you to say this about me, and I'm not going to get upset, and we're going to get the best out of each other. And then they're probably like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. I've been waiting to work with somebody like this.
Yep. It's, rare, this level of stuff. And it's cool that we get to enjoy it, and we've at least got a couple more months of it being hopefully really good.
I think that his run with the World Heavyweight Championship's probably been one of the best title runs out of any of the companies in the past 5 years.
That's fair. I can't disagree with that, and I can't point to something better. And if you want to get technical, he never lost the AEW championship, so he's technically a dual champ right now.
I mean, you think about Cody, he's had the belt most of the time, and McIntyre's had it a little bit, and Cena had it a little bit. Reigns had it a different belt for a little bit. Sorry, whoops, whacked my mic there. But, I mean, out of all the belts, I really think that he just brings an importance. I mean, obviously Reigns does too. Reigns being involved really elevates the person that Punk's going to be working with and everything. So that's definitely pretty important. One person doesn't. It's not a one-person dance, right?
Not at all.
People are more hyped right now for Finn Balor than they have been in how long?
Yeah, it's crazy that it just takes a little bit of perceived slight, and the fan base just goes into a fervor. I think that they kind of have figured that out. They're like, oh, if we do this to people, it'll make them in crazy demand.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the thing, though, for a while. There's no way Daniel Bryan, that's kind of the whole reason why he was built, because they really weren't going with him, and people liked him, and, oh, you're not going to push him? Well, we're going to back him even more.
Yep.
I think that's I think modern days, that's like probably the easiest way to get a babyface over, initially. The hard part's keeping it over. Almost everybody, I feel like the chase is always better than the actual run with the belt, right?
Yeah. More often than not, it feels like that's kind of the case.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean...
Do you have any final thoughts?
I guess, not myself, no. I mean, you might have a couple, but...
No.
I couldn't, in all good consciousness, come out here and lie to these good people here, Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow. Thanks for telling us.
I can't believe it. Well, here's something that we were told. So, you know Will Hobbs, right? Royce Keys?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that guy that left AEW and then went over to WWE, right?
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the jacked African-American gentleman. Well, we thought he was...
Guy.
We thought he was younger, right? You ever cared about his age?
No, not in the slightest. Before right now.
Yeah, you know anybody that does suddenly seem to care about his age?
Yeah, weirdos online.
Like Dave Meltzer, for example?
What's going on with that? Why is this a thing suddenly? So, and why did he not care before?
I don't know, but out of nowhere, he's like, oh, he's actually 7 years older than we previously suspected. So what? I guess they thought that they thought he was 34, but now he's 41 or something. First off, who gives a fuck? I'm sure AEW and WWE both knew, right? I mean, there's no way they couldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, they have to see all your legal documentation and everything. There's no way.
Yeah.
That either of these companies didn't know his actual age. It's just the goofiest shit all the time.
What was Dave hoping to accomplish with this? Like what was the goal here?
I don't know. He comes off as somebody that doesn't get any pussy at all. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty if you were making a guess, I think that'd be 100% that you just nailed that. Whether that's relevant to the conversation or not, I think that that's a very solid point that you brought up. But
I think it's relevant.
Yeah, but another solid point that I think you're going to bring up is, would have WWE have hired this guy if they thought his age was a problem?
No.
Exactly. So what's
They,
the fucking problem? There isn't one.
Meltzer just looking for stuff to talk about so that he has something to fill his air. And we're talking about him talking about it, so maybe we're no better. But
Well,
either way, we're always better than Dave Meltzer.
well, the funny thing though is, like, once he brought it up, all the cage match guys went on there and changed it on their website, right?
They did.
Yeah. And then what a weirdo. He's like sitting there like, how did you find out his age? Like, I think they said they looked up his like taxpayer like some shit like that. And it's like, you know, you're probably the world's, I don't know the right way to put this, but you're a fucking dumbass. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And anybody, and I hope if like you're watching this and you give that guy $16.99 a month, you're a dumbass.
Yep.
And maybe you shouldn't give that guy $16.99. Give me the money. I'll ship you a box of nothing. It'll be less bullshit than he's fucking feeding you.
Yep. And we'll call you a dumbass for free.
Yeah, you can come on here and we'll insult you all day. It won't cost anything.
Doesn't even cost you nothing.
Yeah.
You know what else we'll call you?
Homosexual.
Oh
Yep.
no. Well,
Yeah.
I think somebody
We're bringing it back.
I think somebody that might be one of those is the person that we're going to be talking about next year.
Oh no!
I don't know.
This person actually messaged me and was like,
Crucial thing about me is that I am straight.
Oh. She didn't sound like that, but yeah, it's funny.
No.
So Rhea Ripley won the Elimination Chamber qualifying match the other day, right?
"Was that
Yeah, right?
Ripley?"
Is that what I said?
Kind.
Again,
It's
who
like the
gives a
tape
fuck?
version.
Yeah, I'd like that more
Sorry,
than her current name.
It just cripped me a little bit because you didn't full on say it, but it was a little bit. It was funny.
That's all right. But
That's awesome.
so but anyways, yeah, people were mad she won that qualifying match, right?
Dumb. What a stupid thing to be mad about. They're trying to say that it doesn't make sense because she's a tag team champion. Like tag team champions, like the Usos have been in the Elimination Chamber. How many years? And how many years were they tag team champions or a tag team? Like, it's just a goofy thing to get mad about.
2-man power trip. I mean, that invalidates the whole thing, you know?
Yep.
There's
Literally.
plenty of times where there's been a tag team champion that's had a singles title in the WWE and AEW as well. It's happening right now.
I would say that the 2-man power trip is the best description that you could give, period, because it's Hogan and Macho, and this is Rhea
Nope.
and Io.
Nope. The 2-man power
I'm
trip is
sorry,
Austin. And
Austin and Triple H. Not the Mega Powers. I'm having a blonde moment.
you're good. It's not a
Either
problem
way,
at all.
two top people.
Yep. But Rhea is she's definitely the I mean, you know, I'm not the guys keeping track of whatever who's most popular in WWE, but it seems like Rhea's the most popular chick in the company, and it seems like she's more popular than almost all the guys except like maybe like 2, 3, 4 of them.
Yeah, like Randy, Cody,
Yeah, Seth,
CM
Reigns.
Punk.
She's up there with those guys in popularity, I think.
Without question, top 10 in the company in terms of popularity.
Yeah, and again, just because she has the tag titles doesn't mean that she can't end up going for that shit. So let's just say that she doesn't win. You had a more credible match because you had one of the biggest names and the most competitive people on your show in the match, right? Doesn't take too much to figure that out, you think?
Nope, not at all. These people are just, that's the internet for you. Looking for stuff to bitch about just to bitch.
Somebody else won a qualifier too, and I think that they were bitching. I forget which guy. Oh, the Uso. Yeah, same deal. They were bitching.
Yeah.
They're tag teams, and it's just like, he's one of the most over guys on the show, and he won the Rumble last year, and he's a former World Heavyweight Champion. So, but you make these matches as big as you can, right?
Yeah, I mean they put their big names in the big matches. It's goofy to expect anything else. Maybe some of these people,
Millennium.
are young.
I think
or they are, how can I phrase this?
They're young to wrestling.
Inexperienced wrestling viewers.
I think we got a lot of that. And not that makes you bad or we're better or anything by any means, you know. I think it's great that we have new people checking the products out. But, I mean, how many times we see it, Dave? They're like, man, that was the best wrestling show I've ever seen. Or this is the best wrestler I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, that you've seen.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally exactly what we tell people.
Yep.
Best you've seen. They're like, no, it's the best ever. And it's like, no, it's really not.
It's not. But anyways, we got our point across. Rhea Ripley and Jey Uso in the Elimination Chamber. If you're upset over that, you're probably kind of a fucking dumbass. At least I would say so. But, I mean, again, what do I know? But this one's a pretty interesting here. So apparently WWE is blocking WrestleMania 42 watch parties in Las Vegas. So, you know, like if you went to a bar and watched a fight or anything, well, they do a lot of that for WrestleMania weekend in Vegas, but especially, you know, like in the town that WrestleMania is out at, right?
Yep.
I mean, the places do big businesses. All the motels are booked. All the food places are booked with people watching. You know, it brings in a lot of money. Well, Fightful Select was reporting that Las Vegas venues apparently are going to be blocked from showing it. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not surprised. They want, you know, people to buy tickets to WrestleMania and go to WrestleMania. Also, you know, Fightful's not necessarily wrong usually on stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a weird.
It says within
weird
50
thing.
miles. The distributor of the pay-per-view said that within 50 miles they can't show it. Which is pretty wild.
I mean, that's kind of a big area.
That hurts all these businesses a lot.
Yeah, it really does. Because I mean,
Like-
it's two weekend nights.
Yeah, and it's like you can't even pay the licensing fee to do it. You know, like that's how they illegally do the boxing and MMA and stuff like that in a big place that has over a certain number. You have to pay a licensing fee. Well, you can't even do that. And then like it's just more anti-consumer bullshit over a company that is just squeezing every dime out of these fans that they can.
Yeah, they really are. Not great.
Yeah, it stinks.
Well, speaking of not great and stinks, we got Bron Breakker out with a hernia injury. They're saying that it happened after the Raw spot, and you know, when he flipped over the announcer table there, he already underwent surgery this week. Usually that sort of thing's like a 4 to 6 week recovery period. Maybe he makes Mania, maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure. The flip isn't 100% confirmed as the cause, but they're saying, you know, he reportedly had an existing injury or issue that it worsened. So I don't know. They said that his Royal Rumble early elimination wasn't due to that, but who knows? And there's no timetable as to when he's
sucks.
coming back. It does, because you know this was his time. He was on his upward trajectory, and
hopefully he's not going to be out too long.
I imagine. Let's look. When is WrestleMania this year? Let's put on our detective hats.
Yeah, I mean, he has a chance to be back. Some people, this takes them out for a month to 6 weeks. Some people, it takes them 2 to 3 months.
April 18th and 19th. So from now.
So we got 2 months.
2 months. So that's cutting it close.
Well, what are they going to have him do? Win the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial?
Who knows? I mean, they could do like with Austin, you know, after he's recovered for a couple of weeks, he can just be
build it without getting physical.
Yeah.
Sign a thing where, like, if they get physical with each other, that the match is off or they're fired or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's ways that they could do it, but it would be a shame for him to not be on the card because, like, I mean, you know, me and you both feel like he's going to be like their top guy.
Yeah. Well, you know, a positive thing about that is if he's not back by Mania, he'll be back for Backlash. And pre-sale tickets go on sale for that in 4 days. I'm going to definitely be looking into that. I'm probably not going to go because I'm sure it'll be expensive, but it's in Tampa.
Oh, okay. Well, I guarantee it'll be expensive unless you want to sit in the very back for fucking $120.
Well, maybe I'll have a thing like with what happened with Tim, and people will take his seat, and then they move me to the down on the floor handicap section.
Yeah, well, I'd be pissed if that happened, but at least it worked out for him. But yeah, it's kind of funny, or it's not funny, but Rollins gets hurt. Who I feel like that was who Breaker's going to be working with initially at WrestleMania, from everything that we've read, rumors wise and all that. So, kind of a shame there. Maybe this is all Swerve. I was telling you how they have the masked man. I think that they're pulling a Swerve on us, and maybe Bron will be the masked man because Rollins is going to come back earlier from WrestleMania, and then he's trying to swerve people, and they're going to do a double swerve.
Jeez. We're going to get just swerved out of existence.
You see people saying that Dean Ambrose is the masked man?
Good Lord. Maybe.
Not buying it?
No.
We're
still seeing him on AEW television, so that's definitely not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely at no point happening. Some people said it was Daniel Bryan. He went over to Saudi Arabia and he put the mask on, but nope. Not happening.
Nope.
And I got news for you.
Well, what is it, my fault?
It might be.
You're nothing but a
Really?
Wow. He does.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of things that we want to move the show forward, and we're going to do so. And we have the OverMark Greatest Tag Team Tournament Round 1. We're going to finish up Round 1 today. Yeah. We're going to finish talking about it, not finish it off.
Finish Round 1.
Oh, no.
I mean, you're the one who took it like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's dive right into this. We got the first match, and this will be an awesome match here. But the outcome is something that I wouldn't have wanted to see. But the Steiner brothers versus the Colossal Connection, and the Colossal Connection wins, and I think you kind of have to have that because I could have Andre and was it Ming or Haku at that point?
He was Haku back then.
Okay, so how could you have Andre and Haku lose in the first round in the tournament? Even though I love the Steiner brothers and they're one of my favorite tag teams ever, that's you can imagine how this match would go though. Hard hitting, short,
meat match.
Yeah, pretty fucking much. But overall, I would be really excited to see this match. People would pay big bucks for this today, wouldn't they?
People would pay big bucks for most of these matches, but this one especially, it would be an attraction.
Well, what about the next one, man?
I think that might be an attraction as well. It would be the Mega Powers versus the Dudleys, with the Mega Powers going over, of course. The
Dudleys would sign off on that one.
Yeah. Bubba would tell you on his show, we would lay down for the Mega Powers. I mean, it's Macho Man and Hogan. Anybody would be glad to do the honors for those guys.
Yeah, and they got a 3D on the Hulkster, and he hulks the fuck up. And then he lays the boot on old Bubba, and then hits him with the leg drop, and then Randy comes up from the top with the elbow, and they fucking get him out of there. Does that sound about right?
How come he wasn't wrestling Devon?
I said Bubba.
I know.
Well, maybe it was Devon. I don't know. It could have been either or. It doesn't matter. They're
I'm
both.
I'm memeing. I'm just being an idiot.
Well, fine. It was Devon.
That's right.
How about because I didn't want anybody to get upset. The climates these days are rough. If you know what I'm saying.
Hey, listen. People would be upset if you didn't have him fight with Devon.
Oh, okay. Well, then he ends up fighting with him. But we'll fight on with FTR versus
Devon
Too Cool.
busts him open too. He makes Hogan get color.
Oh hell yeah! He's hulks up with some color, some ketchup. Yep. But we'll move on. That would be a super hot match, by the way. At any point. Oh yeah. That could be a WrestleMania main event. You sell out 150,000 people in a fucking arena off that match.
Yep.
No problem. But we'll move on to a match that would not sell out 150,000. I don't think it would sell out 5,000, which would be FTR versus Too Cool. FTR, the obvious winners here. Too Cool is a great tag team. They're awesome. We loved them back in the day. But you kind of have to have a couple gimmies in these tournaments, and I think this is probably one of those.
Well, Scotty Too Hottie does hit him with the worm.
We have Rikishi out there.
Yep.
We have Stokely.
Yeah, he neutralizes Stoke and gives him the stink face in like a post match type of situation.
Yeah, this would be a good match though, and we got to see the worm.
Yep, and a stink face.
Oh no!
And the crowd told Stokely that he gets no hose.
Oh, and he doesn't. So
nope.
I think it worked out
No
perfectly.
hose. Yep.
Weren't you think of something else that might work out perfectly?
Well, the next match would be something that everybody would want to see, and it would be the Hardys versus Edge and Christian. And wow, that's in the first round, you're saying? It sure is, because you got to get to where you're going, and sometimes the big stuff is even in the first round.
Well, why did we book this, Dave, since we've already seen this match before?
Well, because you got to see it again.
Are you saying it's because it's one of the legendary tag team feuds over time, and for it to highlight the greatest tag team tournament of all time, this has to be in it?
Right. You couldn't not have them against each other, and we considered putting them against the Dudleys, but we kind of felt like this was just the way to go with it.
Yeah.
And we ended up having the Hardys win, and there's a little bit of thought that went into it that we won't reveal yet, but let's just say, go Hardys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go to Hardys and get yourself a big old double cheeseburger combo with a large fry and cherry Coke, because they got cherry Coke there.
We're looking at you, Pile Hop. You keep cleaning those toilets at Hardys.
Yep. But you stay away from the Hardys by my house.
Yeah, you don't fucking go near there. You keep straying away from there, too, if you talk to him again.
Yep.
But yeah,
I had Hardee's kind of recently, and
I haven't.
Brandon and I had been shitting on it lately, but it was actually pretty solid. It was nice and fresh, dude. Ooh.
So the last time I was there, I had one of their breakfast. I had like a sausage biscuit, and it was pretty good. They have some solid biscuits, but something else that was solid, But you've seen the match before, so you know how Hardy's and Edge and Christian go. But let's just say that Jeff Hardy jumped very high off something, and you don't want to know what it was.
Yep.
But
he shouted my whole like Nia Jax did.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
Lucha Brothers versus the Brothers of Destruction. What happens here, Dave?
Well, spoiler alert, the Brothers of Destruction win. And, early forecasts say that the Brothers of Destruction could be a projected favorite in the tournament. Who knows? But on paper, they'd be one of those ones you would think that might could go all the way.
Isn't it kind of amazing that on the same side of the tournament that you had the Colossal Connection and the Brothers of Destruction on the same one? You think how physical that matchup could be? I mean, the possibilities in this tournament are endless, right?
Yep. And it might be booked pretty well. Who knows?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, speaking of booked pretty well, why don't you tell us about this last match of the first round of the tournament here?
So we got the Freebirds versus the British Bulldogs, and the winners are the Freebirds. You like that? Winners are whatever.
Yeah, I spelled that wrong, but
no, it's spelled right. That's you meant to do that, so it's right.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, Freebirds win. It's a solid match. They come out. There's a certain flag that's draped over them that some people might get upset about. What do you think about that, Dave? Would they have that there?
That was a staple of their deal, and Freebird was their anthem. So
Yeah. But nothing too crazy about this match.
No.
I'm pretty sure people have seen this match before too. I can't recall exactly when, if it happened, but I'm pretty sure it did. But overall, the Freebirds win, and we got round one over with this tournament, and we're down to 16 now, right?
Yeah, and we're getting to the good stuff. Actually, all of it's the good stuff, but
So we will have an updated bracket. I will end up posting it on Twitter once I get that made. I'm not going to make any promises of when that may or may not happen, but it will happen. I will promise you that.
Eventually.
Yes. We'll have the 16 on the left and right side, brackets up, and you guys can go over that and tell us if you like it. If you don't, you can call us all kinds of names, ethnicities, slurs.
I don't want to hear that word here again.
Whatever makes you feel good. But speaking of feel good, it is Thursday, so we're a little bit off of that from the weekend. But we did have a fight night over the weekend. It was a pretty good card. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to go too crazy on the breakdown, but I'm going to go from the top to the bottom. Okay. So we'll do the main event. I'm just going to talk about the fights that I enjoyed here. But overall, solid card. We had Mario Batista defeated Vinicius Oliveira. This is almost a pick'em fight on the odds, but Mario Batista ended up choking him out by rear naked choke in the second round.
Is he related to Dave Batista?
No, he's related to
close
Mario.
Personal friend of the show, Dave Batista.
Yeah. But then we had Kyo Horiguchi defeated Amir Albazi in a unanimous decision, which is also a pretty good fight. We had Ravian Kuniev defeated Jalton Almeida, who was the favorite, and he ended up losing, so we had an upset there. We had Michael Olenjaychuk defeated Marc-Andre Barriault. Everybody thought that Olenjaychuk was going to knock him out in the first round, but Barriault turned it up a little bit in round 2 and kind of made that competitive, but Olenjaychuk kind of steered the ship steady in round 3 and definitely won the fight in a unanimous decision, which was a pretty solid fight. Farid Basharat defeated John Matsumoto in a split decision, which is kind of weird. He definitely deserved to get all 3 judges nod there. And then Dustin Jacoby defeated Julius Walker by a TKO in round 2. It was a pretty solid fight. Not too much more to go over that. Nikolay Venokarov defeated Nico Price. You watched that. He knocked him out on a standing TKO. Or technically, not, it was a TKO, it was a knockout. His pinky was holding him up. If it didn't get stuck in their cage, he would have fallen.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a couple of chick fights. They weren't that great. But overall, I was solid. It was I think a pretty solid showing for their first fight night on Paramount Plus. I
fell asleep after that fight.
It's okay. I mean, we're all tired. We work hard. But this was the third event that they've had on Paramount. They've had 2 pay-per-views back-to-back, and then they had this right after. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it so far. The cards in the future, like, they don't have one this Saturday, but they have one after that, and I'm excited for that. But we'll see. We'll always go over them, and we'll let you know what we think. But tell me what you think about moving on to the next one, Dave.
Well, we're going to move on to the OverMark photo album. We're going to open up the scrapbook memories and jog down memory lane and see what's going on in the annals of image history, if you will.
Not the OverMark annals. Those things stink.
Yeah, well, we got to get somebody to clean those out. Well, we'll go with my image first since it's the first one on the sheet here.
You clean them out. What the fuck?
I don't know. I mean, what else do you do with them?
Just shower.
Yeah. So we got the iconic Michael Jordan taking flight from the foul line for the first time and dunking and changing basketball and amazing everybody. And man, really cool picture. I remember physically watching this when I was a kid. Michael Jordan was insane. People like to debate to this day who is the GOAT of basketball, but everybody who watched Michael Jordan play and who played against him tell you that it's Michael Jordan. There's people that have played against Michael Jordan and LeBron James that'll tell you it's Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan. It'll always be Michael Jordan. Michael
Jordan was the guy growing up.
Yep.
It was pretty wild. Like he was just I don't even know how to describe.
You like Mike?
Yeah, but I don't know how to describe it. He was just all over the place. He was like literally like the guy. He was a superstar. He was on all media. He was just like the guy to look up to. He didn't really fuck up. He had a couple small ones, but nothing crazy. Not like a Tiger Woods. It's he was
a cultural phenomenon. Yeah. Would be a good way to.
He's a once in a lifetime athlete. He played in a way different generation, but I didn't even like basketball. But even if you didn't like basketball, there was no way that you could escape this shit. You know, it's just, he was everywhere. He was on the video games, on the movies. It just, I remember, going to one of my favorite pizza places at the mall, and they had that poster of him that was real long, where he had his arms stretched out and he had a basketball in the one hand. Like he had the full wingspan going on. They had it for sale up there. Nobody ever bought it, I don't think. But the image is definitely pretty iconic. Every highlight that they have of him, that's in it. And when Michael Jordan passes away one day, and then we look forward 100, 200, 300 years, like if the NBA is still going, he's going to be up there, and it's going to be very tough for somebody to pass the accomplishments that he has.
I mean, he is their logo. The Jumpman logo is Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he's
literally doing the foul line dunk.
Yeah,
this image.
Yeah, he just did it in a way that nobody had before or ever after. There's a couple guys who are statistically very similar to him, like the Kareem guy. Kareem or Kobe as well. But I don't think anybody thinks Kobe's better than MJ.
No, but Kobe would tell you that his greatness comes from MJ's greatness.
Yeah. Well, speaking of greatness.
Oh boy, so we're scrolling down here. Oh my God.
Yeah, I have a pretty interesting image. I don't have any. I forget when this happened. I wasn't really looking this up that much. I looked it up enough to find the picture to put the. I looked at this and then put the OverMark logo over it, so you guys didn't have to. So you guys don't have to see the full deal. But I got an image of Seth Rollins, and he's nude here, and it's when those nudes leaked to him and his girl. And I just think
like
this is
11
funny.
years ago.
Yeah, I just think this was funny because like everybody was talking shit and be like, man, he's got a real tiny thing there, and it's like, fuck, if that's tiny, you guys all must have massive fucking things going on there.
Yeah.
But
this chick was kind of hot. Yeah, right.
The chick's not bad looking, but overall, this is funny. It's I just think it's like, watch that social media. Don't let anybody get into your phone, and you just got to protect all your shit. If you're a celebrity, don't take fucking nudes because they're gonna get leaked out like that. I remember when this happened, I was just laughing my ass off, man. What can you do? I bet you he was like, God damn it.
Yep.
They got leaked on a Monday.
So you got to go be on Raw after everybody saw your schlong.
Well, it'd be funny if he was in the air or something, and then like he just gets like text, and he like lands, and he didn't have signal, and all of a sudden he's got like 200 texts.
He's like, what the fuck's going on? Somebody die?
Yeah, but overall, we're sorry, Seth. I just, you were picking images to pick, and I couldn't think of a fucking funnier one to do than you and your unfortunate accident there. But I'm sure Becky is a very happy lady, and she probably saw this image and was like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit this guy up. Yep. What else?
I don't know.
That's it.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Well, we got the OverMark MP3 folder. Why don't you tell us about that, TJ?
All right, so we're opening up the MP3 folder. We're doing a little double click, and we're going to go into Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. And we're going to open the folder of that, and we're going to click the track Big Boss. This song's fucking awesome, Dave.
By the way, this is a penis-free MP3,
yes,
unlike our last segment.
Yeah. Just talk
really
about it a little bit, Dave.
Song. And there's a lot going on here in this track. They really push the limits of what you could do with the Super Nintendo audio, and it's super creative. There's a lot of different styles going on here, and it kind of does things that you don't necessarily expect when you're listening to it. You think it's going to do one thing when it starts out, and then it kind of does a complete different thing. It's almost like there's multiple songs in one, but it all works. I don't know how else to explain it.
It's pretty awesome. We've heard a lot of boss battle themes at this time, in platformer games. And then when this hit, when you were younger, you're like, oh shit, like something about this is different.
Yep. It's just one of those ones, and I was less of a fan of Mario World 2 than what you were, but I mean, I still played quite a bit of it. And I mean, as soon as you hear this track, you're immediately, you know, flooded with nostalgia and memories.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and it set the tone too. It made you like, oh shit! Like as a kid, you're getting, you're sitting up in your chair. You're like, all right, this time to get serious here, right?
It's very stressful.
Yeah, it was. But I think it's a pretty awesome song for us to pick. We'll toss it in when we get into the Channel 3 part of our little podcast here. So be looking forward to that happening here in probably about 20 to maybe a minute. I don't know exactly when, but you guys will hear it low in the background so we don't get a copyright strike. But if you want to, you could just look it up, Big Boss, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. We were talking about maybe one day doing like some of our favorite video game like opener. What's the start screens? This is one of them.
Yep.
Just an awesome game in general. But we're not here to talk about that as the game shit. We'll talk about that later.
Goddamn right.
Actually, we're going to talk about it now.
That's right.
You fucking put that thing away, man. But anyways, we're going to get into our Channel 3 part of the show here, where we're going to talk about a little bit of video games and some tech and some other shit. And if you got a problem with that, you're fucking dead to me.
Speaking of tech, I want to circle back to this real fast. In the instructions, it says not to bring it to places like airports.
I bet. Look at it.
Or other places that weapons are banned because it could be perceived as a taser.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hear that. If anybody's got a problem with it, you heard what I just said. So if you got a problem with it, you better not tell me. Yeah, he'll shock you with that.
We're going to find out what that feels like on your skin if you got a problem.
It probably wouldn't be too bad. It's not like a taser or anything, but
I mean, it lights the candle on fire when I put it on the wick instantly. Yeah. Like, just, it's on fire.
Well, hell yeah. I have one of those that are smaller in like a Zippo form. But, so yeah, our topic today in the Channel 3, we're going to talk about some gaming tech that was ahead of its time. This might be a little recurring segment that we're going to do here and there for gaming, but the first one that we're going to be talking about is going to be Donkey Kong Country, which I think is a pretty obvious choice.
Yeah, it seemed like I know we've been talking a lot of Super Nintendo stuff and maybe even a lot of Donkey Kong Country stuff, but I mean,
why not?
If we're going to be talking about tech that is ahead of its time, and this is the first time that we're doing that, it almost would be sacrilegious to not open with Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I believe you were correct there. This game came out in '94. Everybody back in the day had played it. If you didn't have a Super Nintendo, you had a friend that did, and they had this game, right?
32 years.
Yeah, pretty fucking amazing game. So, it was running on that 3.58 megahertz CPU that they had, with just 128 kilobits, not kilobytes, kilobits of RAM. It used the Silicon Graphics workstations to create this, which is the company that they ended up using that company's chip to power the N64. So they would actually, Nintendo themselves would have a further partnership with this company down the road. But funny enough, like I know a lot about Rare, so I have heard them talk about these workstations that they made this game with. Some people bought them down the road. Some people that still work in Rare today have them at their home. So like they've showed little demos of this. When you go in Super Mario 64 and you pick the level and it's just those little squares and you pick a level and those were actually a menu demo on those workstations. So they pulled that directly from the demo and used it in Mario 64. But anyways, they said that the sprites that they used to make this would, just for like one sprite, it would take like probably about 12 to 18 hours. So they would have to like write down and book their time on these computers, and they'd be like, okay, I get it. I get to run for 18 hours on this and get my sprite made. And if for some reason it messed up while they were gone overnight, well then you're fucked and you have to get into line. You know what I mean? These things got hot. Yeah, but you would love to hear this stuff, Dave. Like Rare has so many cool shit in their history, and it's actually documented.
I don't doubt it.
It's documented a lot better than a lot of other companies are. But anyway, that look that they got with these computers gave it kind of like a CGI look. It was different. it had the parallax backgrounds. It had all these cool lighting tricks, smooth multi-frame animations, and all of it fit into that 8 megabyte cartridge, megabit cartridge, which at the time was fucking nuts. It kind of looked like it. Go ahead.
People can't even wrap their brains around, like, people can't fathom 8 megabytes. You know what I'm saying? Like that seems
megabits.
Like,
they're not
megabits. It seems like throwaway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean these things were it was just kind of nuts, man. Like, I remember playing this. I didn't have a a Super Nintendo at the time, so I went to my friends and played it, and I had a couple friends that had Super Nintendos, and every single one of them had this game. So you would just play it, and then you would play 2 and 3 as well. But by the time that those games were out, you'd obviously seen the tech in this game and a couple other ones like Killer Instinct. They did the same thing in that.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, but in a little bit different way in Chrono Trigger. They weren't designed in the same way with these same computers for that game. But man, it's it was like you were getting kind of like a generation ahead before you even had to that hardware.
Yep.
And you can get into music too, and you could talk about all that as well. But overall, just an amazing game, and super impressive at the time. You're a little bit older than me, so you could probably wrap your brain around it better than I could at the time. Did you realize like how impressive it was when you were first playing it?
I was blown away. My Nana, when I was a kid, had bought me a subscription to Nintendo Power magazine, and one day, my Nintendo Power magazine shows up, and it's in like this kind of like box, which is unusual. And I'm like, usually it just comes in the little plastic shipper sleeve. And I open the box, and there's a VHS tape in there, and the Donkey Kong Country trees.
Yeah.
The box was like all covered with those trees, and it was like a teaser tape for Donkey Kong Country, and then it ended up coming out like a year later.
Yeah,
I wish I still had that.
You can find the footage online. I've seen exactly what you're talking about. Rare did that with a lot of their stuff through Nintendo, because Nintendo.
I watched that tape. I can't even tell you how many times, dude. I was so hyped for that game, and Electronics Boutique at our mall, it actually let you pre-buy it, and they did just like a thing where you pre-bought it. And I remember my mom and me rolling up to the mall and getting it and coming home and playing the shit out of it. She let me stay home from school that day.
That's cool awesome.
Day. She was super excited for it too. Like the tape had her hyped for it.
Don't you like how when you did those little things as a kid, you still remember it to this day, and like how that kind of shit touched you, and having those memories with your parents and all that. It's special shit, it's the small stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another mom related memory real quick for video games is 1 year on my birthday, she showed up at my school and pulled me out of school, and we went and got lunch, and she had Dr. Mario for me.
Oh shit.
This was regular Nintendo still. So it was a little bit before that.
You were hyped though.
Yep.
Not as good of a game as Donkey Kong Country.
Not even close, but still was fun. Speaking of Donkey Kong Country, the other day I started a playthrough on it.
I was playing before we got on.
Oh, nice.
I'm at Snow Black.
Where'd you get to?
I'm I'm at 25% into the game. Snow Blast Barrels. The snowy level where you're just shooting. It is fucking tough.
I'm to the first boss. I'm taking it slow.
Yeah. We need to try to start streaming some of the shit that we fucking play, man. I'm telling you. I think some people get some, maybe somebody gets some entertainment out of it, or not. Who knows?
It is Donkey Kong Country, man. Probably a lot of people would like it.
Yeah, Rare's one of my favorite developers of all time. So we could talk about their shit all day long.
Yeah, they dominated the '90s easily.
Yeah,
Rare and Square
might be something we're talking about in a little bit more detail at a point in the future.
Yep.
But
much love to Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, but speaking of future Dave, we're going to talk about our favorite controllers, and I didn't have mine filled out like you did, but I will go ahead and start if that sounds okay with
That's
you.
okay. Please do.
So I man, I go back and forth on this a lot. I have a lot of controllers I like. I have a lot of consoles I like. It certainly wouldn't be the N64 one, right? I don't think anybody could say that that would be their favorite.
There is a certain charm to the Nintendo 64 controller, and
But favorite?
not a favorite, but if I'm playing a Nintendo 64 game,
Yeah, you need it.
I would prefer to have that style of controller as opposed to these modern redesigns that have come out where they're trying to like put the stick and buttons in different place and get rid of the third like section.
So
Just is what it is.
I like the Dreamcast controller a lot, but it's not my favorite, and that's because it doesn't have the second fucking thumbstick.
Yeah.
So then that takes me to one that I really like, which would be the original Dreamcast controller, the Duke, the big fat one. That is probably my second video game controller. I don't know if you would say second, but it's fucking up there. I really like that one a lot, but mainly for SPS games like Halo. And then that takes me to the modern Xbox controllers. I love them. They're great. But then let's jump to the number one. And the reason that I know, the reason why I know I like this controller so much is because they're still using it on the current consoles to this day on the Switch 2. And that would be the GameCube controller. Timeless classic. That's how you play Melee. If you're playing the current Melee, you want to play with a GameCube controller, right?
Yeah. You know, I'm still a Nintendo 64 Smash Brothers guy.
Nothing wrong with that. But I mean, the competitive scene, it's GameCube, and they're still playing. It's Melee, but even if they're playing on the Switch 2, it's the GameCube controller. You know. You know they have a Switch 2 GameCube controller, wireless.
Nice.
Nintendo makes it. Yeah, I own it. Like, you know.
Well, yeah, they make. I was actually looking on their website recently. They have Super Nintendo ones. They've got Nintendo ones. It's pretty rad. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I thought it was pretty cool, but yeah, I feel like it's a timeless classic. It fits in your hand. It's snug. It's perfect for pretty much anything you want to do, and maybe a little bit of nostalgia in there too. But I love it. Why don't you tell me about yours, Dave?
Well, you know, obviously we talked a lot about Super Nintendo, and I had a lot of love for the Super Nintendo controller. I thought that it was very well designed, the way that it fit in your hand. Spoiler alert, it's not the Super Nintendo controller, but this leads us into why exactly. We're painting a scene here.
Yeah.
So obviously it was designed very well. And then when the PlayStation came out, I felt that they took the Super Nintendo design and improved upon it significantly. And then you fast forward to PlayStation 2, and I feel like that's kind of when they perfected that version of the controller. You had your joysticks, you had your feedback buttons, but you didn't have the bulk that would come with some of the later iterations of the PlayStation controllers because they had to fit a battery in there, of course. And obviously, they didn't become much bigger and heavier, but they did become bigger and heavier. So for me, the PlayStation 2 is kind of where it's at. You know, they just knocked it out of the park with that one. I was never crazy about that thumb pad thing. What is that? Is that on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4?
Are you talking about the thing in the middle?
Yeah.
That was a PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 3 was literally just a PlayStation 2 controller that was wireless.
With batteries.
And it had like a little bit longer shoulder buttons that like they rested on the shoulder buttons. It was actually a pretty cool controller.
Yeah, those were pretty nice. Like I said, it was a little heavier and just a little bit more bulk to it. The PlayStation 2 was comfortable. I have zero critique about it.
I remember when I first put the PlayStation 2 controller in my hand. I forget the year like always, but it was the launch year, that Christmas at my buddy's house, GTA 3, and I put it in and it fit in my hand naturally. You know, it's a nice controller. I wish that they were a tad bit bigger for me personally because I don't have like small hands or big hands, but they're a little bit bigger, I feel like, than your average person. So they fit for the time being. They when we were younger, they definitely worked out a little bit better for us. But I think that's a solid choice. Can't argue with you at all, and I had a feeling that you might pick that. And I know the PlayStation 2 is like your deal, and it's one of the best consoles of all time.
Oh yeah. And this Xbox controller is pretty comfortable.
It's awesome.
It sits very nice. Everything is very reachable. There aren't just like on the PlayStation controller, there aren't a lot of rub points. And what I mean by rub points is anybody that played a lot of original regular Nintendo will get this. The controller had that rectangular shape, and just I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but it happened to me a lot using the regular Nintendo controller where I would get like blisters. I'd get like a thumb blister, maybe from doing a lot of directional pad action and stuff like that. But and you'd get like it would like dig into kind of here and here on your hands.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Whereas, the later
There's a
iterations
box.
of all controllers you didn't have that.
Yeah. Well, I mean that controller is literally like a fucking rectangle.
Still an awesome controller, and I mean, I'll play some Mike Tyson's Punch Out right now. Maybe one of these days I'll bust out the classic mini machines.
Well, that'd be cool.
For some. Yeah.
I kind of had an idea. If you were done talking about the controllers.
I sure am.
Okay, I was as well. So I was thinking there's a game that I always bullshit around about beating, and a lot of people make New Year's resolutions or challenges. And I know it's February, but it's still new enough to me. And I think this is a pretty easy thing to do. So I don't know if there's one that maybe you have that you can use, but I got a game that I want to pick, and I'm going to beat it before 2027. Just one.
Okay.
That's a goal that I have, and that's South Park for the N64. It's also for PS1 and PC, but you know what game I'm talking about. I bullshitted around about beating that. I've always got close when I was younger, but never officially did. I'm going to beat it this year. You got a game that comes to mind that you're going to use, or is that you got to think about something?
Simpsons Road Rage.
That's what you're going to do? Not hit and run?
Not really, but I just that for whatever reason that immediately came to mind. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Basically because it was Crazy Taxi with the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Literally, didn't they get sued for that?
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah. So that might even be a hard game to find now.
It's not. It's still out there. They just had to pay money to Sega. That's all.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that. I don't know what game I'm gonna pick, but
You could think about it. You got a week.
yep, we got the whole rest of the year.
But well, yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, like, if you would want to have one or something before the next, and that we got plenty of time to do this shit. But
I mean, I'll have a game picked before the next episode.
yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
just saying, I'm gonna beat that fucking South Park game before the end of the year. That's it. That's all. I don't got
What
nothing
about
else.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game for a regular Nintendo? That's like one of the hardest games of all time.
Well, if that's something that you've been having in your brain and just been meaning to play and just never get around to it, then yeah, that'd be.
No, I
that'd be a
mean,
good choice.
I don't want to play that game. Do you know how many times I died to the fucking water
it's gotta be-
level and
it's gotta
baseball
be one that
pitched
you
the
wanna play.
controller?
It's got to be one that you want to play that you're gonna have fun.
I was the king when I was a kid of throwing the controller. I mean,
Me
literally.
too. I stopped after a while.
Yeah, well, yeah, your mom stops buying them for you, and then you're not going to break
Yeah.
them anymore because you realize. But yeah, I'd be
winged
like
it.
5 or 6, and I would throw that thing at the console just as hard
Oh,
as I
no.
fucking could. Yeah, like
I'm not at it.
yeah, dude, I was the worst kid.
No.
I remember playing Street Fighter 2, not Turbo, just regular Street Fighter 2. So this is probably like 92, 93. I don't know, I'm like 10. And I was trying to beat it on hard with all the characters. And fucking Bison traps me in the corner and just slides me to death the whole time. And I got really mad. And I baseball pitched to the controller at the cartridge sticking out of the top of the console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it break it?
Nope.
That's good. That would have sucked. They were expensive.
Yes, that game was like $60 when it came
Yeah.
out. My mom's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She was not happy.
I
Like,
bet.
nothing broke that time.
Yeah.
So
I used to break walls. I was the wall punching guy.
I thought your name was TJ, not Kyle.
No.
I tell you what, I definitely punched some holes in some drywall
Yeah.
in my teenage years. I was an angsty boy, you know.
Yeah.
Disagreement with the stepdad, boom, in the room, punch a hole in the wall.
Yep, that was me, 100%. Wham, no problem. Straight through it.
Oh, dude, right through it. Somehow never caught a stud. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
I actually did so one of the houses that I lived in, I punched through it, which doesn't make any sense because I'm a teenager.
Stud?
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. They
I don't ever
were.
want to get punched by you. Motherfucking TJ's out here punching through studs.
This was a house that was built in like the 1920s, so maybe they had different building codes back then because they weren't
Maybe
as
that was
big.
like termite wood or something.
No, it was about like that. It was like a slat. It was like that big or whatever.
Oh, so it wasn't like a 2x4.
couple inches. No, it was like a couple inches, and definitely wasn't as big as a 2x4. But it was the wall in that house was definitely way different than most I've seen. It was like I said, it was probably built sooner than that. It was a very old house. It was a Cumberland special, but but yeah. So we did have
TJ's
one
out here punching through his whole ass wall, dude.
Yeah, no, I put my head through it before. I was a savage
shit.
when I was a kid, man. I get pissed. People piss me off, and I want to beat the shit out of them, but you couldn't, So you just
'Cause you're a
take
kid,
it on
yeah.
the wall. But speaking of setup, oh shit! Well, I was trying to set
Wow.
you up to get us on out of here.
Well,
I'll have you know that I've become homosexual.
why does that guy keep telling us that?
I don't know. It's funny,
Good for him.
Our one co-host didn't even show up at all. So it's whatever
Well,
that might be.
we had a
Can't find
different
pussy
guest this
anywhere.
week. Oh, strolling in at the end. He's trying to make sure he gets his minimum.
Yeah. Well, and then I don't know why you.
Over here.
Oh, he brought some friends, but yeah.
What the hell?
He's a fag.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
okay. Well, we better get out of here before he
Yeah.
gets us thrown off the air.
How much more betrayal can I take? Son of a bitch!
All this from a slice I got
Man,
a hole.
how many people did he bring with him?
Brought the whole fucking crew. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that's what it sounds like. I don't know. But, oh shit.
He brought.
Hell yeah, what else?
He brought Steven with him too.
Yeah,
Oh no.
man, he's pretty upset.
Good Lord. Well, this has been a fun episode.
Yeah, it has. I've enjoyed it for sure.
I'm gonna go out here and scare my nephew with this.
Now you're gonna do
taser.
that one thing I told you. You're like, man, what a great idea.
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
I don't want to hear that word here again.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that again
Why not?
because that's scary.
Screw all this wrestling crap. I just want to get a little slice of my gabagool.
Oh, I guess that's our cue to get on out of here, huh?
Yep. Everybody have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. And thank you, TJ, for the fun show. And I'll
Yep,
see you in a
appreciate
little
you, Dave.
bit, I'm sure. Appreciate
Yep.
you too.
Appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time. 81.